Town of Pierson regular council meeting for Tuesday, September the 10th, 2024 at 6:38 p.m. will now come to order. Yvonne, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Mayor Samuel Bennett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland.
Here.
Councilwoman Sergio Cardenas.
Here.
Councilwoman Lenny Richardson.
Here.
Councilwoman Brady Peterson.
Here.
Town Planner Mark Correct.
Here.
And the Town Attorney is absent, and the Volusia County Sheriff is present.
Thank you, Yvonne. At this time, if I ask if y'all would please bow for the invocation. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for this day in which you blessed us with. Thank you for this community. Pierson, thank you for the board members here that are willing to serve their community. Dear God, I am thankful for all the ones that are in attendance tonight. Father, I pray that you give us wisdom and direction as we consider the business before us. Also, Lord, I pray for, at this time, I pray for peace in the nation of Israel and all the turmoil that's in different places of the world. I pray for that things will get better. I pray for all of our leadership. I lift up in prayer our men and women that are serving in the military. Pray for their safety and their safe return to their family. Pray for all the law enforcement and people in acts of service. And dear God, thank you again for this community in which we've been blessed to live in. I ask all this in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. You stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first order of business, you have the minutes in your packet from our regular meeting, August the 27th, 2024, and also a special meeting, September the 5th, 2024. At this time, the mayor, is there any additions or deletions at this time?
Mr. Mayor, our annual insurance package said that it went down, but because of the sale of the bank, but didn't the policy actually go up? No?
The overall policy.
Okay. Nothing further.
Anyone else? If not, the mayor would entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson to approve the minutes for August the 27th, 2024 and September the 5th, 2024. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sergio Cardenas. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, our first item for consideration, 5A, Rotary Club of Flagler Beach to use Chipper Jones Park. And we have a Karen Williams and a Laura Biddle. Welcome if y'all are here, and love to hear from you.
I received an email already with all of the details. If you would like me to please read some of it?
Yes, I'd like for you to kind of go over and give some for the public that is here in attendance. I have read over it, but if you could kind of share it with the ones that are in attendance here tonight.
Okay. Rotary Club of Flagler Beach. Basically, we have come to Pierson to help the folks of Pierson out, and we have been doing it for decades. Just so that you know, Rotary Club of Flagler Beach has been holding monthly food distribution in Pierson for the past 15 years. We have also provided Christmas toys for approximately 1,000 Pierson children for the past 25 years. Some of you may have recalled when we first started with our food distribution, they were held at Chipper Jones Family Sports Complex, and we worked inside the community center there. In those days, we provided food for between 30 and 50 families. When we outgrew that space, we moved to the San Jose Church on Emporium Road. This campus was served and has served us well for the past 10 years when we were serving up to 300 families. Since COVID, the number of Pierson families that come to the food distribution is now about 450 families. We give out tickets early in the morning, and let me back up just a moment. We do this once a month, on the second Wednesday of every month. So it's not every day or every week, okay? So we give out tickets early in the morning and assign the families a set time to return for their food to avoid long wait line times for the families. The church campus still works well for the distribution itself, but when we give out the tickets early in the morning, too many families come very early and cause a dangerous backup of traffic onto Emporia Road. It was suggested to us by both the Volusia County Sheriff's Department and the Florida Highway Patrol that in order to maintain public safety and not cause traffic backups, we asked permission to get the tickets out at the Chipper Jones Family Sports Complex, where there is ample room for cars to line up. We are working closely with law enforcement to create the traffic flow. Rotarians, myself, have met with law enforcement officers at the sports complex to accomplish this and make it best possible use of the space. The tickets are given out from anywhere from 6:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock, but in reality, all the tickets are usually completed by 7:30 at the latest. So we're looking at a very short time frame in which to use the sports field to help us. Because what happens is the people are coming to get the tickets, and usually it's probably about, Mark, what about 30 cars that about 30 cars that come right initially, like at 6:30. And at the church, there's not enough room for 30 cars in the flow of the parking lot. So what ends up happening is that we're causing a backup on Emporia. And if you're going to work, or if you're going to work and taking your children to school, you can imagine, maybe even 5 minutes of a delay is a problem. So we're trying to look to try to use the sports field just for that short time period, once every month. Does that kind of give you all an idea?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does the board have any questions?
I did talk with our town attorney today, and I think he'd like a little more clarification, like maybe a contract with the town or something.
Okay.
I can have him reach out to you.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
If you would give Yvonne your contact information. Okay. Yeah, he just had some questions.
Okay. You want me to give you my email address right now? I can.
Sure.
It's
on here?
It's on the email.
It's on
Okay,
email?
okay.
You have it.
All right.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, question, do you want to approve this contingent on the attorney meeting with them, or do you want to table it until our next regular meeting? Until, okay, in that case, the mayor would entertain a motion to
Move
that
the
effect.
table.
Have a motion on?
Mayor, I just have a few questions. Do you guys, first of all, just thank you so much because I have been aware of everything you've done for the community. And I've been a part of it too. I've volunteered many times. And first of all, and second of all, is there a route or a map that you guys have that would help maybe the attorney and us see what you guys are using?
I think the main problem too is after you give out the tickets, you're just parking along.
No.
Because they were doing that for a while, parking at the end of Emporia.
No, really what happens is we give them out the ticket and then they have an assigned time that they have to come back.
Right.
So there's no parking. They have to leave.
Right, but I know that at the end of Emporia, that little roundabout thing, I know that they were parking there.
Oh, at the corner, right
corner.
before the
Yes.
crossroads.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like room for like 5 cars.
Yeah.
And just the third question, is it just the distribution of the tickets or is it the food as well?
Just the
tickets.
tickets. Just the tickets. Because we can handle the traffic flow of giving out the food to the families. There's not an issue there at all with any of the backup on the road. It's just that people are wanting the tickets so badly that they come in.
just maybe foresee a little bit of issue with the school times as well.
Yeah.
I was going to
6:30,
make a comment.
Maybe at 8, but, I mean, we have a lot of traffic.
A lot.
Already.
Workers, yes. People going to work, people going to school.
But if
But I guess
if we're using the sports complex, because we were out there with Lieutenant Vaughn, and basically, like I said, we have 30 people that show up right away. The area that we would use holds more than 30. He counted it out, and it would be more like 50 to 75 cars could come in at one time, and there still wouldn't be a backup on the street. Thank you.
Well,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
What percentage of your clientele would you say do not have phones?
I couldn't answer that question.
What was the question?
What percentage don't have phones? Why not create an event? You know, there are free places where you can create an event and distribute tickets like Eventbrite and stuff like that.
That's a cost that we can't incur. Just so that you know, the food that we get is in partnership with Sonic Harvest. So we're not putting any money out ourselves.
I think there are some applications that will be free. I just explore that.
But we can have future possibilities. Yeah, we're not allowed to have personal information of people. Sonic Harvest gives us a list of things that we have to work within, and that's one of them. We can't do that. They can offer it to
like
us.
on an app where to give them a certain time if they
Correct.
just correct check in.
Anything else?
We'll look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, and the attorney will be working on it. He'll be contacting you if he has questions. And then in the meantime, the board can spend some more time with it too, and look forward to working with you.
Okay. Can I recommend that you send the information to Roseanne and to myself? Roseanne is the woman that sent you the email. I'm basically the foot on the ground type person. So if you send it to both of us won't react to it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Lenny Richardson to table until our next regular council meeting. Is there a second? Seconded by Brandy Peterson. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, item number 5B, 4th of July. I had put that on the agenda, a couple things. Of course, we have a great celebration here on the 4th of July, celebrating this great republic's birthday. And I had some different residents ask about some of the fireworks, if we could request that they be red, white, and blue. And so I had talked with the company that we contract with. There would not be any extra charge for that. So I wanted to bring it to the board for discussion and just to, put it out there and see what your thoughts are. Maybe have half of them the red, white, and blue, and then another portion different colors, or just what you're wanted to bring it up for discussion. And then also if some of the public would like to comment also.
Hey, it is a patriotic day, the most patriotic
True.
day. I think the more red, white, and blue would be very appropriate.
I feel likewise.
Is there anybody in the public that would like to comment or speak? Yes.
I agree with that, but y'all do a great show, so as long as you can keep it the way it is and just give it different colors, that's fine, but if it's gonna lessen it.
It won't lessen it because it's, in fact, that was my first question with the company that we contract with. There's be no extra charge. I since then had talked to some people. I had one resident say they'd like half, and then they'd like some, like sometimes we have some gold colors and some different colors, and they like that. So that's why I'm bringing it up, for just discussion and let the your elected representatives make a decision. So how would y'all like to move forward on this?
I like patriotic colors.
Sure.
Maybe do half patriotic and half,
Red, white, and blue.
okay.
Mhm.
And who would like to make the motion to that effect?
I move that we incorporate 50% of our fireworks show as patriotic colors.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson to go 50% of the red, white, and blue patriotic colors, and the other, there can be other colors. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sergio Cardenas. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, item number 5C, glider at airport. Removal, discussion, and action. Councilwoman Lenny R. Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So in your packet is a picture of this, whatever it is, at the east end of the airport. And as you recall, probably 2 months ago, we discussed this with our legal counsel, and he informed us of the protocol to deem it, I guess, abandoned property or whatever. So the time lapse has run. So it can be sold, it can be cut up and salvaged for scrap. It's ours. So I just wanted to bring that up, that the time has run on that and we can do something with it.
Question, are you confident in your evaluation, or would you like to table this until our attorney?
Absolutely, let's table it until our attorney is present.
Is this just a hauler or is this an actual?
No, it's a
Glider
glider
and a hauler under it.
and a hauler.
Mayor would entertain a motion then to table this until our legal counsel is here and present.
So moved.
A motion on the floor by Councilman Lenny Richardson to table the glider at airport removal. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by our Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, item number 5D, our 2024 3-year renewal, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, discussion and action, and we're honored to have our Volusia County Sheriff here tonight, Sheriff Chitwood, and I believe you have your Chief Financial Officer with you also.
I do, Mr. Mayor.
Welcome.
Thank you. How's the honorable board doing tonight?
Good to
Right.
hear.
We're good.
We're honored to be here. Thank you for the invitation. So as you know, we have been in business together since probably before I was even born. We've had that contract that long. I am proud to tell you that since I have been the sheriff, when I became a constitutional sheriff in 2021, we talked about how the county was charging carrying charges that I had no control over, that when I got control, that we would no longer do that. And for the past 4 years, we were able to keep the contract flat. And we have only charged you direct costs. Well, like everything else, our direct costs have gone up approximately 4% this year, which I think comes out to about $14,000, which is the increase to your contract this year.
Well, I think all of us here on the board and everybody in attendance can attest to the cost of everything has gone up. And I think probably the Volusia County Sheriff's Department is affected across the board on what also, from fuel to insurance to employees. So certainly understand that.
I mean, you all know what it is. FRS goes up. Medical benefits go up. You know, we have union contracts that have to be honored. Technology is unbelievable. The contracts are all like milk. They expire, and then you got to renew it. And it's like, oh my God, are we ever going to get hit? Because the stuff you're making is going to expire in 2 years, and I'm going to be paying double what I pay now for it. But, you know, again, all the technology, you guys, that goes into those patrol cars is involved in those direct costs and the direct cost that goes with the deputies.
And that technology is vital.
Oh, I mean, that technology, it played a key role in solving the homicide. You know, that was crucial in that. And it was in the Deltona shooting where the guy stalked his ex-girlfriend for 2 years, swapping a stolen tag. Once he entered the county, he would switch the tag over. But his real tag was a Georgia tag. And the detectives were able to
Can you
sort
get
through.
us into buying those cameras?
We're tag readers. I don't know. Somebody back there whispered there was a surplus, and I'm like, hey, we need more cameras.
Yeah, I can sense that. You're a real salesperson.
I can tell you that every deputy that is assigned here asks to come here. You know, nobody gets assigned here because, oh, we're going to, you know, no, we try to make it wherever you want to work, we want you to be there. We want you to be part of the community. And thank God all our school resource officers want to be here. All the deputies want to be here. Andrew asked to come back from when he was young once, but he can't get up here and talk because he's a Notre Dame fan. And he's still trying to get over what happened on Saturday afternoon. So.
I bet he is.
Yes, it is.
At least he's not FSU or UF. You know, at least they got one win.
That's
At this time, do y'all have any questions or for the sheriff or for his financial officer?
I guess I have a question. It says in here, by providing 2 deputy sheriffs with patrol automobiles for 12 hours each day. So is that 12 hours for one, 12 hours for another? So we'll have 24-hour continuous service up there?
That is correct. That is correct.
Because before we only had the one for a,
I'll let the chief.
Those are the,
Welcome.
very good question.
Yeah.
Those are the 12-hour shift kind of rotations, only during the daytime. 7 days a week, it's covered that way. If you're familiar with the 24/7 scheduling with 12-hour shifts, you work for 4 days, take 3 days off, and the following week, you work for 3 days, take 4 days off. So it works out to be that way. You're only paying for 2 deputies.
yeah, I guess my question is, will we have one deputy, say from 12 to 12, and then another one from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.? Or are you saying because of their schedules?
It's 12-hour,
Shift,
it's
so-
24-hour scheduling period. But you also have to remember this contract is a municipal service type of contract where you're treating this like a police department. You are a city within a much bigger sheriff's patrol district. So in the overall county-wide service, you're also protected by the sheriff's patrol services. On top of the baseline, you have 2 full-time deputies patrolling this town.
So it's just 2 full-time deputies, they'll still only be working 12-hour shifts.
Andrew could explain what the chief got into about the zone, your zone, it's
Yeah.
21 zone.
Yeah.
He'll explain.
Yeah, so you have a Yankee unit. The Yankee unit is responsible, which is the Pierson unit. They work from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. There's 2 units. The rest of the time would be our 21 zone unit would cover from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. So there's only 2 units assigned from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. So, and the rest of the coverage comes out of the county.
Any other questions?
So that didn't change, that's just how it's kind of been anyways, correct?
That's how it's been.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
You have a second or the sheriff recently expanded our district to the 27 zone, which is a floating, what they call a north end unit. So he basically during 2 of the 4 shifts, so half the time, there's a second deputy up here with the 21 zone deputy. So there's 2 deputies up here, and then I come in at noon. So from 12 to 6, or from 6 to 12, there's actually 3 of us up here.
In this whole,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
I understand, thank you.
We were able to finally get.
Because I was impressed that we were gonna have continuous coverage.
Which you do, you just don't pay for continuous coverage.
Right,
You
but
pay for-
it's here,
Right, it's here, it's all over the place, and we were able to do that because I'm finally fully staffed for the first time in 20 plus
oh,
years.
that's plus.
So,
But those are my, that was my.
all good questions.
And then, of course, we know that we have at our, that's available to the town when there's a need for the the helicopter or detectives or?
Full service of the sheriff's office. If something, God forbid, if something happens, the full strength comes in, as you saw with the homicide. You know, everything comes into the area. So we solve that problem and abate what that issue is.
We had the command post here for a week.
So you have access to every single thing that we have, every piece of technology. That's what we try to explain to all the contract cities when people say, oh, well, you know, listen, you get everything when something happens. You don't have to worry about anything that's going on.
Thank you. Thank you all for all being here to explain this to the board.
Thanks
And
for the
I'm glad
invitation.
we have people here in the public that are in attendance. Okay, is there any other questions at this time? Comment. If not, the mayor, I'm sorry.
No, I was curious. I was going to say, does anyone of the public have anything for the sheriff while you're here, while he's here?
Anyone have any question or comment?
It's not a good one. It's not a good one. It's like exactly.
So the whole town talking about it, there was cars all over my house, and they came and took it, and then I thought, okay, that's been that long. That was probably 7 months ago. I got a call just the other day that they have, this has been a ongoing thing, and it's big, and I really appreciate the cost.
I will pass that along. I do want to tell you, and we can't stress this enough, if anybody ever has a problem with calling the non-emergency number or the response, I don't know if you don't tell me. So email me. If you email me directly, I include you in that chain. If I were to send it to Andrew, you would see where it went. You knew it came from me. You respond back. You would know. You would tie into it. In fact, they follow up. Makes me think I'm doing something for you. So, but that's you have to email me so like that.
Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve the interlocal agreement for provisions of law enforcement services.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor of our Vice Mayor, Robert F. Greenland, to approve the 3-year contract for starting for the fiscal year 24-25 in the amount of $319,650. And we have this is by our motion by our Vice Mayor, Robert F. Greenland. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Thank you for the service
Yeah, thank
you
you all.
provide, and all of you, all of the ones that are in keeping us safe, you're in my prayers that you stay safe, and thank you for the service you provide. God bless you.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of this wonderful community, to be honest, at the end of the day. It's
How's
our
the
privilege.
substation? Is this doing you okay?
We love it. I just got to get the guy not to vandalize the police car anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though we caught him, he still lurks around.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, next item for consideration, 5E, annual water rate for cost of living discussion and action. Deputy Clerk Ryan Smith.
We probably need legal counsel here for this one, so you may want to table it.
Move the table.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to table 5E, the annual water rate for cost of living discussion and action. Is there a second? Second by Lenny Richardson. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, updates by mayor. We're still waiting on our water test, I believe, for our new water plant. It's still a work in progress. Is that correct? And our water tower, I'd like to report that it's the renovation, the painting, the elevation valve, new valves, that's complete, but we are still, we're waiting on the electric hookup, I believe, for the mixer.
I think that has been completed, the tower's full, right?
But we're not using the mixer though, because I don't believe has been, I don't believe did Huff Electric complete it? Okay. Well, we did start using it, but I don't believe that we're utilizing the mixer this time. Okay.
You have to show them how to use
It's functional.
It's functional, yes. And I'm eagerly awaiting on those, we all are, on the samples to come back with our new state-of-the-art, brand new water plant, which will be coming online. And a few weeks ago, I did a walkthrough with SGS Construction, but then today, I know that Mark, you were here, I believe, with Zeb Cohen and Todd with Zeb Cohen. Y'all did a walkthrough, I think.
I'd say yesterday, do you want to talk about, yesterday we had, if you recall, we've gone out for a service provider for both the water treatment plants.
Yes.
And so yesterday we had a pre-bid meeting, and then we took we had a good turnout, so we took the potential responders to the RFP on a tour. They saw the new plant. We're given a walkthrough by SGS. We showed them the old plant, and we showed them the water tower. So that those are the three components that they would be servicing and operating under the RFP. So they have till close of business today to get questions in. So we have all the questions in, and then try to answer them all tomorrow or the next day, get them out, do an addendum. And the bids are due Monday. So a week from yesterday.
That's great. Thank you for that.
So, I mean, hopefully we'll get all this in place so that when the plant is fully operational, when everything gets cleared, SGS can include the new vendor in sort of the training and operation.
Also, in regards to our existing water plant that's in operation, it is operating, it's doing okay, but the device that injects the chlorine is not working properly, and we did go ahead and order a new one for that one to be installed. But it's working right now currently. I'll reserve the right to come back and maybe give a further report. Oh, and also the Volusia County Library System that we were fortunate and blessed to have. We're going to have the new library here at the media center. It used to be the media center here behind the town chambers auditorium. I was there yesterday, and they're working on the cabinetry, putting new cabinets in. They worked on the skylight. They have all new heating and AC units that have been placed. So they're aggressively working on making that our new library here in town. It's a work in progress. I don't have a date at this time when we're going to be open, when it will be open, but it's coming along. Okay. I believe that's all I have at this time. I reserve the right if there's something that I need to come back to. The next item for consideration is 5G, updates on town projects from our town attorney, Christian Waugh. Christian is not in attendance here tonight. He and his family they've got some kind of bug. He's sick, and so I'm hopeful that he will be here for our next meeting. So we don't have anything for that, 5G. So now we'll move to 5H, updates on town projects from our town planner, which we're fortunate to have him here tonight, our town planner, Mark Corrett of Zeb Cohen.
I was here September 5th, and I had a couple people come talk to me about their land use and zoning issues. I'll be back here on the 19th, it's Thursday, from 9 a.m. to 11:30. So if people are interested in discussing their land use and zoning issues, they can call the bond schedule at the time to meet with them. Planning Commission will be meeting on September 17th. We'll have a couple items on their agenda. Already talked about the water system, so I don't have anything else to report.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Okay. That finishes the agenda. At this time, as I traditionally do, I go around the table. Our Vice Mayor, Robert F. Greenland, do you have anything that you'd like to bring up at this time?
Just to report that Public Works were able to fill quite a few potholes since our last meeting. I'm glad to see that. That's going to be a work in progress because there's plenty of them to be filled. Also, I noticed that the county, I believe, did some work on Van Oak Road, just north of Shell Harbor. And also, I'd like to ask, I know at our last meeting, I believe it was brought up about contacting Duke Energy to see if we could get separate meters on these buildings here at the town center. Have they been contacted, Ryan? Or okay, all right. I'm just curious about that. Hopefully we'll know something by our next meeting, and if not, we'll just keep trying. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you to our Vice Mayor. At this time, Councilwoman Sergia Cardenas.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Just a couple of announcements. Just to inform the community, I am proudly representing Pierson in the as a board member in the River to Sea Transportation Planning Organization. I did go to my second meeting, and their name will be changing to Volusia and Flagler Transportation Planning Organization Committee. They did, FDOT did inform us that they will be implementing a lot of technology in the roads. Two of them would be AI technology. When the pedestrians are standing on a crossing, some pedestrians do not push the button, so AI will automatically be able to sense the person and automatically turn it on so the person can cross. The second one, which I didn't really like, but it's when the red lights, when the cars are on the red light and it turns green, some of the cars are racing past the green light, trying to race so that they won't catch the yellow. So the lights will be able to detect that a car is passing by without turning red, so the other cars won't cross, and therefore avoiding accidents on the road. I thought it was interesting, but yes. And the second, they also informed us that the community, they have a plan for, 20 years from now to 20 years for roads. They will, on their website, they appreciate any comment from the community. They know it will be affecting us all. So please log on to the website. They have an email. They have a direct link to that on their home page, and give your input. There's a link on there to go see what their plan is for the constructions of roads. And also the second announcement is that because I've been getting a lot of requests from the people or the community that was here last time when I announced that Halifax was interested in coming in and building an urgent care here in our premises. I made a big mistake. and I will announce it publicly. It was not Halifax. It was the president and CEO of Advent Health, who is willing and interested in all that. It's the same, but the names, I know it is, but they are so interested, and I'm in talks, and I'm in talking with the person in charge of that. Hopefully we can have something by the end of the year, or, them coming in and looking around and see what we have available for them. So I know it wouldn't just be Pierson that would get served. It would be Seville, Astor, Barberville, De Leon Springs. I mean, I could even there and say Crescent City. So I told them it's not just Pierson. We would get a lot more. They would gain a lot more clientele, not just Pierson. So I think that's it for my announcements, and I will keep working hard for that, for us to be able to get some urgent care here in Pierson.
Thank you, Sir Jim. Councilwoman Lenny Richardson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So per advice from our legal counsel, he has asked me to deem the high school parking issues an emergency agenda item.
Okay. So to declaring that an emergency item, that's something you want to go ahead and discuss tonight.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have a motion on the floor to declare the traffic area at Tita Winter Taylor Middle High an emergency. Is there a motion to that effect?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. A motion by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson, seconded by Sergio Cardenas. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Let the record show that Lenny has spoken with the town attorney, and that he felt like this was improper to declare this an emergency, which I think it is an emergency since there's a lot of problems with the traffic due there at the high school. So now it's an emergency item, so please continue.
So he said to do so, and I just informed him of the issues that the community is having with the traffic flow, with people parking on sidewalks, the whole gamut. And he said to discuss it and give him direction of how we would like him to proceed.
I thought we already did that last meeting.
I did too.
We had
We
agreed
did.
for him to send the email, and that you and him were gonna talk to them,
That's what I read on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
since
I
we
mean,
did-
why didn't we do that?
I don't know.
No, he probably didn't do it because, as we found out tonight, he's not in attendance and he's been sick. We did ask him to contact representatives with the Volusia County School Board, and because it's what we've been told is this is some things that have been mandated that they have to go by. But we've got a problem, and I think that's why Lenny brought this back up tonight. So
I told him I can't go buy a loaf of bread without 10 people attacking me. I said, this is a serious issue.
The fire truck cannot get down Washington at school time. There's no way.
no
If there's
way.
an emergency out there, it's not gonna get by. There's trucks parked half on the road, half off the road. You have to completely stop. I know you probably.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, and I think that's a major concern, because there ain't a detour to get emergency except go all the way to Shaw Lake and around. I mean, so, but I thought we already.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We did it
I
last.
guess since we declared emergency, we can talk about it. Yes, Mary Kay.
I went down the other day and there's a problem. Have we taken pictures for this emergency,
Yeah.
Are we taking pictures of it?
I have
Yeah.
videos.
We have pictures and video.
All right, that's all.
Thank you. Okay, well, Yes, Rick.
I just wanted to mention that it's possible Christian maybe want you to declare an emergency so he can do something official with this, with the district. I mean, he's not here, so, but, you did not declare an emergency in the last meeting, but now it's been declared, so that, I think that gives him more legal leverage to do something.
I don't know if that was his intent because of what the reason that Councilwoman Lenny had to bring it up. It's not an agenda item. So for us to discuss it, we had to declare it an emergency. But I think, Rick, that's an excellent idea and suggestion. I'd like to suggest to the board, since it's an item we can discuss, I'd like to suggest that we do declare this an emergency and that we would like for the town attorney and I'll volunteer as your mayor to work with him to let's see if we can't get this a resolution to solve the problem, the dilemma that we have. So I think that's excellent. And so I agree with Rick. So let's declare it an emergency that we can say the
I thought we already
board's.
declared an emergency
It
and made
is,
the
it is,
motion.
yeah,
We already
it
have
is.
it here.
It is.
So we've already declared the emergency. I guess the thing is we approved for him to send an email and talk to them last time before it was emergency and it wasn't done.
Yeah, but what
So
Rick
now that
said,
it's done, now it's an emergency again, we're gonna ask him to do this. Hopefully by 2 weeks, he'll
Well,
have
Rick-
us an answer.
well, Rick's point is that we're declaring it, not declaring two separate issues. We had to declare an emergency to discuss it. Rick is saying declare it an emergency, and we're going to say to our attorney, this is an emergency situation that we have here in our school zone, and we're asking you to take action on it. And so I believe that might carry a little bit more weight, the wording of that. I think is that what you're saying, Rick?
Exactly, because I looked over my notes, I would have taken note that we declared emergency.
We didn't declare it emergency. We discussed and had action on it and asked Christian to send an email to school board. It's in our minutes.
Yeah, well, I've got that. So he's asking us, since we're discussing it, would we, and I agree with Rick, declare it an emergency.
It's definitely an emergency situation.
Let's talk about solutions.
Yes.
I go by that school 20 times every day. That parking lot that goes back to the gymnasium is a huge, long road and a big parking lot back there. Why can't they use that? I think that is a solution. Now, the problem is, they're not opening those gates though till a certain time, correct?
Correct.
That's-
And people are showing up an hour before, because I've had several residents come in and complain with
Well,
pictures.
they
videos.
need, to alleviate this problem, they need to open up those gates earlier.
We were told they won't
And-
because they don't have manpower to run the gates and that they can only open one, right? Isn't that what they told us?
Correct.
Yes.
So that'd be the gate to open.
That'd be the
Right,
gate.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Either
Either or,
one,
the
yeah.
one on the east end or the one on the west end, either one would be better than what
Where
they're
it's at
using.
now, correct.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Denise, do you have?
One, in the meantime, because there's more money, can we not ask the sheriff's office to have a deputy up here and not let people stop? Just keep telling them they gotta keep driving around. No, that way they're not stopping. If they're impeding ambulances and stuff getting to a road, they.
Would you like to speak to that?
Yes. This is a countywide issue.
Yeah.
And we will not address the actual parking on the street, on the sidewalk, because of the issues that they changed with the school and how they open the gates and when they open the gates. What I can say is, the majority of the traffic that I see on Washington, they are on the sidewalk. And they are on the sidewalk before school gets out. By the time school gets out, they're on the way into the parking loop and back on the road. I would rather see them blocking the sidewalk when there's no pedestrian activity than blocking the road. At least partially blocking the road. That's why we're not enforcing the parking on the sidewalk. Quite frankly, it's your idea of opening the easternmost gate to allow
if that's the fact, if that's the case, then why don't they switch? Put the school buses up front.
You know, I don't know, I just know that the organization for the pickup booth back there is what they have set up for the kids and how because they have only, I don't know if you've ever been there during release time.
Oh, yeah.
It's organized chaos.
Oh, I see it every day.
It actually only let, from what I remember, they only let certain kids into that pickup line. There's a fence that's manned by somebody and a gate that they let the kids into to get in line and get on the bus. They don't just allow all the kids to get in on that sidewalk all the time. So I think they're set up in the overhang, the fence, the way it enters. That's the way that's designed. That's why I agree with you that the Eastern egg entrance would be a viable idea. Because it not only can accommodate the people coming in, but having there only one gate open will accommodate the people going out at the same time. They can make a traffic loop. They can fix that.
Yeah, they could fix it if they wanted to. I believe.
But no, as long as the roads are clear, for the most part, and we can get by, and we've addressed that, we've driven by it, we've done it throughout the day, we've gone with fire rescue to make sure that they can make it through. We're not gonna, until someone comes up with a solution that we can say, okay, now there's a solution in play, we can now be the bad guys and say, you're breaking the law, here's your ticket.
Thank you for that. Yes, Raymond.
Raymond Pierson, I'm on 5 Road. As I go to school, on the school side, the sidewalk side, in order to avoid parents to park there, I suggest to create a curb tall enough where cars will be able to drive to the sidewalk. So, I mean, that's if vehicles cannot park, then you avoid at least one side of the school to be clear.
Thank you for that, Raymond. Denise?
I think it was last meeting that somebody said that parents can, if there was parent volunteers and maybe they have to be background check or something, if they have volunteers, they could open the gate. That they have to have somebody there to touch the gate, and they could be open. Y'all remember that? Could we not put a call out to the community and ask for volunteers, or have we at least contacted the school board to see what are the criteria to have that happen?
I think that's where we're making the motion to get the letter out to the school board with some solutions.
Yes.
Yes.
Sue, did you have?
Some of the parents were talking about, they said, if a longer loop would be made. Right now, the short loop they have open doesn't accommodate enough cars. Even when they open the gates, it backs up too long. Because, as you said, Bob, either the north, the east, or the west, their suggestion was to put the bus loop where it's open now and put the car loop to the back where they could almost.
I think that would make perfect sense, Sue. Yeah. Because there's not more than 10 school buses or 12. Even if there's 15 school buses could fit in that loop. There's plenty of room for 15 school buses in that front loop. And that either side, either the west side or the east side, could accommodate, I bet, close to 75 vehicles.
And they said some of the schools, when they're coming out, they are forced to make a right turn. You can't see if kids are crossing the road in front of the school in that white zone. They can't see them because the cars are sitting in front of the school. They brought that up as a safety issue.
Yes, Yvonne.
We received a complaint from the office. We had one Monday, very irate. If you don't know, drive by, you can see his yard because he has marked it with no parking and stuck poles in the ground. And his next escapade is he's going to put spikes in the ground so if they park in his yard, they ran over his water meter.
No, Lord.
So it has to be addressed.
Who is this?
Blake and
Yeah,
East Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't miss it in the
He's
yard.
he's got signs up, no parking, and little reflector things and everything all the way around his yard.
That's right.
So at the last meeting, when we discussed this, there was no motion. We discussed it generally. Christian said we can contact the school. I'm pretty sure what he's looking for is specific direction to tell him what to do and maybe give him a time that he needs to go by. And maybe that would do it.
Yes.
You know how we have like
Would you-
581 North Bush Avenue?
What should state your name, please, for the record?
So they, you know how we have this right here when we walk in the, nobody can pass through here at a certain time? So why can't we do that over there and go to Second Street and Lake and then go like that? And don't really go out that. Second, Lake and into the escape and through stop, the first stop or the stop sign? Does that make sense?
I,
Yeah.
yes.
Second to Blake, and then Blake took back to Washington.
Yes. Because they'll be on the loop.
It's still, you're still gonna be parking on people's property.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter which way you go. I think the only solution,
Like nobody's allowed to go at certain times through there, which will stop people from parking on people's property, and it just goes around longer and longer. Suggestion.
Yes, Karen.
I think that's gonna be a huge issue if you block off, you know, half of Washington for an hour or two in the morning, an hour or two in the afternoon. I don't agree.
Well, we've got lots of, I'm glad that everybody's here and participating. So we need to, even our deputy clerk had suggested to make a motion, and keep in mind in your motion, I think that's a good suggestion that Rick had about declaring the situation we have, an emergency here in town. So the mayor would entertain a motion of what your pleasure is.
I move that we deem the parking issue on Washington at the high school an emergency. And I would like to order the attorney Christian Law to notice the school board and the principal at Taylor Middle High School of the issue
We have a motion.
immediately.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson declaring the situation that we have over at Keetowood Taylor Middle High an emergency, and direct our legal counsel to work with the school board and the principal to bring about a resolution to correct the problem that we have over there. Is there a second?
second.
Seconded by our Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay. Is there anything else that you might have?
I have a couple things and then I'm gonna quit, I swear. So for the rodeo, every year I cringe, you see these little 3-year-old kids hanging on the fence, just waiting to get kicked in the face. So I'm gonna have Ryan, if you all are not opposed, just make us some signs and laminate them that say, please stay off the fence 5 feet. I mean, we've had 2 frivolous lawsuits already. I think as much as we can cover our ass is a very good thing to do. The other thing, I went ahead and had them order signs for Hagstrom Road where the river running through it. Couple vehicles have come through there in the evening fast and their car has started. And so I have them order 2 signs that say water over road or something, and a beacon to go on top of the sawhorse.
Yes.
Lions Club meeting last night, being a bit 615 Rabbit Road, we discussed, Lamar was actually having some signs made up, was gonna get the big mountain laminate that would be there permanently, that
Oh, good.
I basically no standing on the fence, standing at the fence, and then he's going to ask the two deputies, we've requested and paid for two deputies, that they would also walk the fence to keep people
Wonderful.
back and away. Because it's safety, but it's also a problem when people are handicapped, they're on the bottom row, they can't see. So that's kind of what he was already planning to do, was no standing at the fence and try to keep it monitored. So
Awesome.
That will take care of that concern.
That's done. I have nothing further, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Randy Peterson.
They hit on mine. The only other thing that I had is Chipper Jones Park, the water levels up there is out of control. If we keep getting rain and a rodeo and 20,000 vehicles pulled in there, we're gonna have a mud pit. It's gonna be ugly.
I agree. I think I was actually talking about that with a resident today. I thank God for the rain that we're having. And I'm not complaining, but I hope sometime as we get closer to the rodeo event that
Which is what, next weekend?
it'll dry out, that the rain will stop for a while.
Yeah. And the next 7 days is 60, 70%. Oh, boy.
So it's, anyway, we'll have to wait and see how that works out. So,
At the park, I noticed the boys closed off the one entrance on 17.
yes.
I tried to close the gate between the ball fields, and that gate doesn't move. I don't know if it's rusted shut or what's wrong with it. But the other night, like the other day, we went to go back and check the park, and he got stuck. So it is back.
He went out there by that softball field, he got stuck.
He was, I had to go up. He went through the loop to try to check the bathrooms around the little, sand loop that we have around there. And he went up to check the water area, and he didn't get but 25, 30 feet into that.
Yeah, the ground is saturated. It's saturated, yes. Yes, Rick.
I have a question. I don't know the layout of that area very well, but would it be possible to run some, you go with a plow, a shallow swell that runs to Highway 17, help drain that? I mean, I don't know if it'll help or not.
There doesn't appear to be water standing, it's just so saturated. I saw no water actually
It drains,
standing.
it drains fairly fast, but it doesn't, I mean, it needs some dry days.
Yeah, it drained just needs
It
to dry
out.
days. We got, that one day there was 5 inches?
Yes.
5 inches in one afternoon.
We've had at my house 8.7 inches
Yeah.
since in the last 10 days. And it's rained more uptown here. The one day when I had 7/10 of an inch, it rained 2.5 inches there at that ball field. So that's over 10 inches of rain it's had in the last 10 days.
Oh, I have one more thing, if I may.
That was a good suggestion, Rick. Yes, sure.
I did have Olin Cannon close the airport. So Public Works asked me about, we have some big X's that they put on the field when the airport's closed, I guess.
So they can see it from the
So
air.
it can be seen from the air if you're, and so they're like, do you want us to put them out? And I said, well, let me.
Yes, if it's closed, we want to put out so that they'll know. And you did notice, so Olin asked you y'all talked about it?
I called him and told him that the day that the water was running across 17, I called him that night and I said, hey, we have a problem. I said, I think the airport had better be closed immediately. He said, is it that bad? I said, oh, it's beyond. And so he was going to email the FAA or whatever and let them know that that it was closed.
I saw him at M&E yesterday. He told me that it was.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, we did enact Olin. He volunteers, by the way. We have a resident that he doesn't live here, but has a plane there, and he has volunteered to do a lot there at the airport. He's been a real blessing. He's brought in crushed creek, made a road at no charge. He's done a lot of things over there, and so that was good. And Olin knows the airport, so I'm glad that you had contacted him, and he'll know when that he can notify the people to open it back
I
up.
just told them it's closed until further notice till we're confident that it's safe.
Yes.
So I'll get them to put out the X's tomorrow.
I drove it yesterday, and there's probably about 3 to 4 inches of standing water. 80%. Wow.
Thank you. Karen, you volunteered to serve on the board. Do you have anything to report, or? Okay, thank you for volunteering, and glad you're here this evening. Okay, that finishes the, Brian.
We've done a few workshops and we've talked about looking into grants. We talked about FERDAP grants, which is the recreational grants for the parks. We got them a few years ago. We put some playground equipment at 2 of the parks. That cycle is coming up at the end of September. And I talked to our grant writer about that, and he said we could try for it since we are a ready designated town now. Remember, we talked about getting ready designated because of our rural status and our population. So because we are already designated, we do want to try for a grant this year, and part of that is we have to hold a public meeting. Doesn't have to be council. It just has to be someone that explains to the public what the FERDAP grant is and take feedback. So we've scheduled one of those for Monday, this coming Monday, September 16th here at 4:30. So if anyone would like to come, it's just a brief overview of what the FERDAP program is. This is for Chipper Jones Park. We did place some playground equipment there, but Yvonne and I have received some comments from residents about there's not ADA compliant play stuff up there. Some of the things need, maintenance and painting and whatnot. So this is just kind of to get an idea from the public of what they'd like to see up there and what might be possible with this grant. So Monday, September 16th at 4:30. And then you'll have to go before planning and zoning the following day on Tuesday. So.
We've done that last time you guys did it.
Yeah, we did that, went through the same process, but we were only able to get one piece of equipment for each park. We got the new equipment at Chipper Jones, and then one piece of new equipment at North Palmetto Park. And so yeah, that's great that we can start the process and maybe get some more new things over there. So that's good. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yvonne, did you have anything? No? Okay, at this time, is there anyone for the good and welfare of the community? Public participation at this time. Yes.
Vegetation hanging out, part of it's in PDG, and we got one of them is at Lake Street in Washington, one of them is Third Avenue and County Road 3, if you're leaving the Baptist church, and you're trying to turn out there, you can't see south. And the other one is actually at Second Avenue and Highway 17, right there next to the bank. If you're coming east towards the highway, there's like a couple palm fronds or whatever it is, they're hanging out over the sidewalk. Just take a whack and shake it, take it down. And another one is, we're talking about fixing our lakes and potholes. I don't know if you guys have taken a look at Lake Street and Washington Avenue. Right on the north side of Washington Avenue, you're heading northbound Main Lake Street. There's a very large area of asphalt there that's gone. If you pull over there, it's just line off. It's probably 2/3 of that lane. I don't know if we can patch it or if we're going to have to take care of some other way with that asphalt.
Ray, what was the one that was Second Avenue and what?
Second Avenue and.
Highway 17.
And 17.
If you're headed east on Second Avenue, probably look to the south.
What was the third one? What was the third one?
Lake in Washington.
I got one in Washington. Second Avenue and Highway 17.
One of them is that Third Avenue and County Road 3.
Third Avenue.
And the other one is Second Avenue and Highway 17.
Okay, thank you, Gray.
And then if you have a chance, check out that asphalt. I go to Barry Harper's Package Dedicated and talk to Jake. And if you go across Lake Street, there's a big piece of the asphalt missing on the side of Washington Avenue. It's right near the edge of Washington Avenue. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Gray. Yes.
Pleasantly surprised when I came down Church Street and I didn't have to avoid the big potholes. So that was, I didn't know that was coming until then. So wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The Public Works did one on Short Street, but then they did several roads out on, is that Turner Road?
Turner Road, yeah.
Turner Road.
Turner Road.
There were several big holes there that they were able to fix. And again, Van Oak Road, they worked on some holes out there, and Roberts.
Yeah, the intersection of Van Oak.
Intersection of Roberts and Van Oak. So and then sometimes with all the rain that we've been having, it's been a challenge to get the material, go over to Daytona, pick up the asphalt, but everything is, we'll keep working on that. It's a work in progress. And thank you, Gray, for bringing up these streets that we can get some attention. And with all the rain we've been having, things are really growing too. So it's a challenge. Okay. Is there anyone else at this time? I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming out. It's good to see people out and interested in your local government. And one other question I just thought of that I reserved the right to come back to. Several months ago, I had brought up to the board about the drainage problem that we had over on Hagstrom Road, and then I met with Randy Hutchison. He showed me the canal that is there on private property. This board, just for information, approved to get it surveyed so that we could, and permission to go in there and clean out this canal, because that would help alleviate the water that's standing there on Hagstrom Road. That road is deteriorating. We're waiting on the survey, and we've been waiting. Is there any report that we get the survey yet?
Mayor, they have still, when they were there, and I knew they were there because I have a government marker on the farm. And if they're surveying in Barberville, I swear they'll come to that government marker. So I saw them, and I'm like, oh, let me guess, you're looking for the government marker. Yes, ma'am. I said, okay, let me show you. So they were doing whatever, and they didn't actually go in that bayhead. And they tied a red, flag on the telephone pole there at Richardson Lane and Hagstrom Road. I don't know why. And it's still there, but they've not been back. I get with the weather, and I know.
It's pretty yucky in there. I wouldn't want to bail off in there either.
That's a booger hole right there.
Yeah.
I wish we could have started it sooner, because now we're really hurting now. So, but anyway, if you would just contact them and ask them what their plan is as far as finishing up the work that we've asked them to do. Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor. On our next regular council meeting schedule, you got Tuesday, September 24th, which is correct, but then the first one in October should be October 8th and not the 15th.
Okay,
Unless we have a scheduling problem.
The first falls on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll be the first full week of the month.
So the first full week is the week of the 8th, so then it goes to the 15th.
It's the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday.
Yes,
of every
always.
month. Doesn't matter if it's a full week or not. Yeah, it's the second, fourth
Second,
Tuesday.
fourth Tuesday, that's how it works. So that's correct. So it should be,
The 8th instead
it
of
should be the
15th.
8th. So that needs to be changed. That's on the publication. It's October the 8th instead of the 15th. Thank you for catching that. Okay. Yeah, so let me make this announcement before we do adjourn. Please be aware of the following meeting schedules. Next regular meeting is Tuesday, September the 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. And then Tuesday, October the 8th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Then we have a planning commission meeting Tuesday, September the 17th, 2024 at 6 p.m. We have a meeting of our final millage rate that we set. What is the date on that?
That's the 19th.
19th.
Yeah.
So we have another meeting on the 19th at 6 o'clock, and that is to set the final millage rate on your tax bill. And that is on the 19th at 6 o'clock. Okay, I think that covers everything. Again, thank you all for coming. And being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.